The story of Salisbury House is deeply rooted in the American dream. The combination of hard work, innovation, and imagination has brought profit and prosperity to people throughout our country's history. The story of a young man from Iowa named Carl Weeks exemplified this great American tradition. Weeks rose from a humble Midwestern background to create a multi-million-dollar cosmetics empire. Still, American history and Carl Weeks's own story are complex. There are times of plenty and times of want. Fortunes wax and wane. Still, some things remain. Here in Des Moines, Iowa, Salisbury House remains as a testament to the extraordinary vision of one American family. Carl Weeks was born in 1876 in Lynn County, Iowa. The Weeks family moved to Kansas 3 years later to reach their new home. By the late 1880s, however, the Weekses moved to Des Moines. In 1891, at the age of 15, Carl enrolled in Highland Park College in Des Moines. He studied pharmacy, a trade that became the basis for his lifelong career. Carl later established the Red Cross Drug Store in Centerville, Iowa in 1900. He returned to Des Moines 2 years later and went into business with his brothers Leo and Dayette. The Weeks brothers manufactured drugs and cosmetics. A short time later, Carl met Edith Van Slyke. She was 6 years younger than Carl and had recently completed her Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Michigan. During their courtship, Carl followed Edith to Europe, where she continued her studies in art. While spending time in Paris, Carl saw an opportunity to create a unique cosmetic for women, makeup foundation, a combination of facial powder, cold cream, and perfume. Carl returned to the United States and married Edith in 1907, and over the next several years perfected his foundation idea. Around 1915, Carl created the Armand Company and developed it into an empire with 42,000 cosmetics distributors. The small-town Iowa boy who had once crossed the Midwestern prairie in a covered wagon now owned an international cosmetics company that eventually made him a millionaire. During this time, 4 boys were born to Carl and Edith Weeks: William, Charles, Evert, and Lafayette. The Armand Company's success led Carl and Edith to build a home fitting to their newfound wealth. A place they could raise the boys. A place more fitting to their new lifestyle than their crowded home on 39th Street in Des Moines. During a 1921 trip to Salisbury, England, Carl and Edith discovered the model for the home they would build, a grand old English manor called the King's House. The Weekses chose an 11-acre plot of land, a short distance west of downtown Des Moines. Construction began in 1923 and took 5 years to complete. The total cost of the house and furnishing was approximately $3 million. The Weekses traveled extensively, researching and purchasing artifacts from various cultures and eras. Perhaps most impressive of all is the approximate 3,500 rare books in the Weekses collection, most of which are displayed in the library. The Weeks family moved into Salisbury House in December of 1926, but the family soon experienced difficulty maintaining their new home. With the market crash of 1929, the Armand Company suffered along with the rest of the country and experienced serious financial reversal. Carl and Edith now realized the need for help in maintaining Salisbury House and donated the house to Drake University in 1934. With the agreement, they could reside in the house as tenants until their youngest son, Leif, graduated from college. When that first lease expired in 1944, the Weekses and Drake signed another 10-year lease on similar terms. In 1954, Drake and the Weekses sought a new steward for Salisbury House and its collections. The Iowa State Education Association eventually purchased the house, grounds, and contents for almost $200,000. After the sale to the Iowa State Education Association in 1954, Carl and Edith moved to a much smaller home in the south of Grand neighborhood. Edith passed away in 1955. Carl then died of a heart attack in June 1962. By the early 1990s, the Iowa State Education Association's ownership of Salisbury House neared an end. The Salisbury House Foundation was formed in 1993 to preserve, interpret, and share the property for the cultural and educational benefit of the public. The foundation purchased Salisbury House, the grounds, and collections from the Iowa State Education Association in 1998 and began operating it as a historic house museum. The purpose of the Salisbury House Foundation is to not only preserve the historic and cultural importance of the house, but to maintain it as a forum for various events and activities, which ensures its relevance to a whole new generation interested in physically maintaining historic icons and the rich culture they represent. Salisbury House and Gardens, Des Moines' Manor in the Oaks.